6 brand new mazes and attractions have been announced. A brand new original IP maze. The Big Top is back. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So, we have just received our second Thorpe Park Fright Nights 2018 maze announcement. This was the big announcement that we had all been waiting for. The announcement where we were supposedly getting 6 brand new mazes / attractions, and we have now received all of that news, and we're going to have a very nice talk about it right now in this video. So then, this announcement came in the form of one simple photo that was uploaded onto Thorpe Park's social media platforms. As you can see, it shows some very interesting things that we're going to go into detail talking about in just a second. But yeah, this was the announcement. However, as always, the website was also updated, and that is where we're going to be getting most of our information for today's video from. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'm so excited. So I think a great place to start is with the maze that we have been predicting for a very, very long time now. It is, of course, Blair Witch. It's finally been announced. I mean, they've been teasing it so much, and we've been predicting it for so long. They're so nice that they have finally officially announced it. It is now up on their website, and it has a little description. After a year of peace in the cursed Black Hills of Burkittsville, the Blair Witch is back at Thorpe Park Resort as you once again... Sorry, wait. The Blair Witch is back at Thorpe Park Resort as you once again even scare it right. It just doesn't make sense. Venture deep into the terrifying wilderness and battle the elements as you fight to take on the evil that lurks beyond the darkness. And remember, never spend the night, never look her in the eyes, never turn away from the corner. There's something evil in the woods. Dare you enter after nightfall. It's looking exciting for Blair Witch. Last time we filmed a construction update, we saw some really exciting activity over there. It does mention a lot about nightfall in this description, so I'm wondering if this maze will only be open once it gets dark. I know they used to run Blair Witch like that back in the day, like as soon as they deem it dark enough, they would open the maze. It didn't run it all during the day, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again this year. But yeah, Blair Witch has now officially been confirmed, and I'm definitely excited to head down there on my next construction update, where I'm sure we will see even more activity from Blair Witch. So next up we have Plex Cinema, which is something that not many people were expecting until Thorpe Park mentioned 4D experiences on Twitter the other week. And the description for it states, "Nothing says Halloween like a terrifying horror movie marathon, so take a break from the thrills in the Plex 4D. From 3 PM, grab your popcorn and settle into your seat as you devour a series of tantalizingly terrifying short films, plus a few spooky surprises along the way." Just saying, that took me so many takes to get that tantalizingly terrifying bit right. I kept messing up. Just like they did with the Final Cut Cinema last year, it looks like they will be using Angry Birds 4D again. Obviously last year they just played Walking Dead clips, it was pretty cool. But yeah, this year it seems like they are taking it up a level and actually utilising the 4D effects within that cinema, so I don't know if the seats are going to be like in action, or the water sprayers, or like the little leg ticklers. I don't know, it seems cool, and the bit where it says plus a few spooky surprises along the way, could that mean like there's going to be actors coming into this cinema at points, like at the end of a screening or something? I don't know, it seems cool, and it's another thing that you can do, especially if it's raining at Fright Nights, just pop into the cinema for a little bit. So next up we have something that is brand new to Thorpe Park this year in the form of a scare zone. And this scare zone is called Terror at Amity High. And yeah, I personally am very, very excited for this because firstly, it's been ages since we've had a scare zone at the park, like so many years, so it'll be cool to actually have a dedicated scare zone. And not only that, but the fact that this is going to be located within Amity, an area that's normally quite left alone at Fright Nights, like there's never anything really going on in Amity, especially over by like the stealth area, which it seems like where this scare zone might be taking place. So yeah, it's good to see that they are bringing stuff to Amity, and it fits in with the tagline for this year, which is "This year nowhere is safe." So yeah, it really does seem like they are trying to put something in each area of the park. Unfortunately, there's not a description on the website about what this experience will entail. Instead, there is just this lovely photo of Sophie. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait for more details for Terror at Amity High to be released. But yeah, very excited to have this scare zone at the park this year, especially as it's not like a traditional zombie maze. Like, it seems like they're going to be vampires, which is something that we've never really seen at Thorpe. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens with this one. Now, next up we have a maze that has surprised a lot of people, including myself, because of its name. As this year we have a brand new maze called The Walking Dead Do or Die. Before we get on to anything, we'll just read the description. Your road to safety is within reach as you make your way through the compound to reach Terminus in this live action outdoor maze. Follow in the footsteps of survivors on your journey to refuge and meet the local residents. But look beyond and all is not what it seems as you realise that dreams of salvation may be a trap. Suddenly trapped and in complete darkness, you must take every opportunity to escape. Rumour has it that the old school bus still works. Will you survive AMC's The Walking Dead Do or Die? So, first of all, I think it is pretty clear that this maze is essentially Sanctum 2.0. I don't know why they're not calling it Sanctum, because then we could have said Sanctum's gone through the Big Top treatment, but technically it hasn't anymore. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the Big Top treatment, but yeah, it basically seems like this is going to be Sanctum that has gone through the Big Top treatment, and in doing so, it has also had its name changed. Interestingly, it does state that this is an outdoor maze. Does that confirm that the shipping containers aren't going to be used? I really hope not. I've been saying this for so long. I hope they use the shipping containers, the insides of the shipping containers, because obviously we've spotted the markings over in Lost City, and I'm pretty sure those containers are now over in Lost City, like they've been spotted over there. So if they can get in those shipping containers, then that maze will literally be like a little My Bloody Valentine throwback, and that would be insane, especially themed to The Walking Dead. Like, imagine having zombies inside of those really claustrophobic shipping containers. It would be so scary, and I really hope that they can get inside of those. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, I don't know why they've gone with this name change, Do or Die. It seems pretty cool though, and this is definitely one of the mazes that I'm most excited for this Fright Night. So then, next up we have something very interesting. It is the Big Top Showtime. Right, before we get into discussing this maze a little bit more, we are going to read the description. After the antics of the Big Top Circus's crazed clowns literally... It doesn't make sense. After the antics of the Big Top Circus's crazed clowns literally tore their colourful tent to the ground, it was time for the Figaro Bros to find a new location for their travelling menagerie of torture and despair. But fear not, the show must go on. This year, the bright lights of the Dome take on a more twisted and sinister glow as a hysterical cast of the Big Top continue their carnival of magic, mystery and mayhem, and the Figaro Bros have only left the freakiest cast behind. It's showtime. Yo, Thorpe, please work on these descriptions. So yeah, Big Top this year, it is technically returning, but it's technically not because it's not in the maze form. I'm going to talk about this in just a second, but let's focus on the Big Top Showtime for a minute. As that description stated, this year it is going to be taking place in the Dome, which is somewhere that hasn't been used in terms of Fright Nights for many years now. But all I'm going to say is just picture walking into the Dome with like flashing coloured lights and the Big Top audio blaring out over the speakers. This has a lot of potential, and I am glad to see that the Big Top hasn't completely left the park for this year. And who knows, we could see it returning in the future. Like, how much hype would that be if this time next year they announced the Big Top would be returning? So yeah, It is a shame that the maze itself isn't going to be at the park this year, but at least the Big Top legacy and aspects of Big Top will be at this year's event in the form of the Big Top Showtime. So then, we now come on to the last thing that was announced today, which was a brand new original IP maze. And this maze comes in the form of Vulcan Peak. Let's take a look at the description. New for 2018, the tribal lords of the jungle have been summoned, and by the harvest moon of October, their power is strongest. Hooded and marched into the depths of the wild, you must rely on only your most primal instincts to keep your wits about you and make it out with your flesh and bones intact. The sinister beat of the jungle drums and the chanting of an unknown language overwhelm your senses as you edge your way closer to the belly of the beast to meet your doom. Will the jungle gods be merciful, or will you be sacrificed to the fires of Vulcan Peak? So, Vulcan Peak. I am so excited for this maze. Firstly, because it is an original IP, which is something that's so cool to see at the park. And also the fact that we are going to be able to go back in the I'm a Celebrity building at Fright Nights. I've been saying in a lot of the construction updates this year to keep an eye on the I'm a Celebrity building, and it has happened. They have announced a maze in here. So yeah, although to be honest it doesn't seem like they're going to be changing much of the theming in there, like it is just going to be the I'm a Celebrity kind of experience. But in this maze it seems like you will be hooded. That's right, it's going to be a hooded maze. We haven't had one of these at Thorpe Park since the passing. So I know a lot of you guys might not have even experienced a hooded maze before, and let me tell you, they are pretty scary. Like, it's so weird not being able to see anything. Like, you really have to focus on where you're going. So I personally am very excited about Vulcan Peak. I'm hoping that they make a very in-depth storyline to it, and it's got a nice layout. I don't know how it's going to work in terms of the slide. Like, are you going to exit the maze down the slide? Also in I'm a Celebrity, there are those booths that you go in individually to answer a Bush Tucker trial question. So could we see these being put to use in that maze? That would certainly be interesting, because it would mean that you are literally on your own. Thorpe Park haven't done something like that since the days of Experiment 10, so yeah, I really hope that they integrate those little booths into Vulcan Peak. And there we have it. Those were the 6 brand new scare mazes / attractions that were announced from Thorpe Park today. But interestingly, also on the photo that Thorpe Park shared on its social media platforms, it seems there are 2 other attractions / mazes that are yet to be announced. So I'm not sure when the park are planning on announcing these, but yeah, we'll have to keep checking up on Thorpe Park's social media, and I will of course be tweeting as soon as we get any news from that. But as I said before this announcement, if you do want a bit of a sneak peek as to what these announcements could be, I'd suggest going back and watching my previous construction updates, because there are a few things we mentioned in there that have yet to be announced. So yeah, head back and watch the construction updates. And yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. I will be heading back to Thorpe Park very soon, hopefully, to go and film another construction update. This time we will of course know what the mazes are going to be called, so we will be able to talk about them in more detail. So be sure to subscribe with notifications on to be notified as soon as I upload that next construction update. Very excited to go and film that one. And yeah, of course, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments, what maze are you most excited to experience this year at Fright Nights? For me, as I said, it's got to be Vulcan Peak or The Walking Dead Do or Die. And yeah, as always guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.